Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So this time we're going window shopping in San Telmo. I went there last weekend to see a museum called Museo de Angel, and I made another video about that. But afterwards, I couldn't resist walking around and doing some window shopping. It's been a long time since I've been able to walk around in that area. I think not since before lockdown that I've been able to walk around as much as I wanted to. So I knew things had probably changed a lot there, and I just wanted to see what was different, what was new, and so on. I really love this area. It's so pretty, and the architecture is really beautiful, the streets, everything. And I remember when I first arrived here and I was looking for an apartment, I looked at a few places here, and I remember this one place specifically. It was a shared rental, and the room was okay. It had its own private bathroom, but the kitchen was so weird. It was on the patio, so and had no covering. So I just couldn't imagine, because it rains here a lot, and in the heat of summer or the freezing winter, cooking outside would have been so weird. This place is new, by the way, and I'm not surprised it's in San Telmo because this kind of stuff you don't see elsewhere in the city, and it's the kind of thing that foreigners and tourists would be more likely to buy. And I was tempted too, but the prices they were charging was a little ridiculous. I can't justify paying that much money for something that I know I can get for cheaper elsewhere. I mean, not as cute, of course, but I did buy a tiny dish that I plan to use for my watercolors. This tiny yin-yang dish that I think is for soy sauce or so forth. And this place, the San Telmo market, has been here for ages. And I remember going there years ago and seeing this old Star Wars poster from the 70s. And I remember it was like 170 something US dollars. And I so wanted to buy it. It's not there now, of course, but that was like the best thing I've ever found in that market. And it's changed a lot since then. A lot of the old antique vendors have left and have been replaced by food stalls. So the feel of the place is really different now. Not that that's a bad thing. I remember my husband and I ate there over a year ago. We went to one of the burger places, and I remember it was really good. Not as good as Perez H, but it wasn't something we really wanted to repeat because the place was just so crowded and the wait for the burger was really long. And so everything in there is so crowded together. So for us, it was a little uncomfortable because it was just after lockdown. So the last thing we wanted was to be in a big crowd. It's also super touristy here, so it's fun to go here every now and again, but for people who live here, unless you want to go to a particular bar or restaurant or whatever, I don't know. It just feels so touristy and it's so crowded, and a lot of the things they sell, of course, are just for tourists. Yeah, this place is like tourist heaven. And I was there on a Saturday, so I was a little surprised it wasn't even more crowded. But for me, it was crowded enough. Because generally, ever since lockdown, I don't like being in huge crowds. I think it's a matter of just getting used to them again, because I used to not even notice them, right? I've always lived in or near big cities, and on vacations I often choose to go to cities or theme parks or crowded places. So big crowds used to be no big deal, but ever since lockdown, it's it's been a different story. And that looks like Skipper. I remember having a Skipper as a kid. Oh my god, that doll. I've never seen anything like that. I wonder what the story is there. I don't think that was sold in the US. I'm not gonna say anything specific in case I get in trouble on YouTube. But you saw it. You saw it. So apparently, Buenos Aires is well known for its fashion design and shoe design, and I can easily believe that considering how many independent designers I've seen here. And there's actually a shoemaking school, a really small one in Palermo, and I've been seeing more and more cobblers or independent shoe design ateliers popping up here and there, and I've been seeing their stores on Instagram. So I really hope that translates into clothing as well, because I mean there are a lot of designers here for clothing, but not a lot of good affordable clothing. I mean there are a lot of designers selling their own t-shirts like that guy over there, and I do want to buy a couple of those t-shirts, I think, for my husband. But you know, like pants, more practical stuff, underwear, and so forth, it's hard to find here, you know. Good quality affordable clothing is really hard to find in this country. I love this plaza, by the way. I mean, it's super touristy, super crowded, and kind of tiring after a while, really. But it's always interesting to go there and see what the vendors are selling, what musicians are playing there, what dancers are there. Yeah, and I love the bars there also. Like there's one bar that I've been to several times that has really good performers every night, and they have a different theme, like rock music, flamenco one night, tango another night, and so on. I thought this was sweet. You can tell this guy is a really good lead dancer because it looks like the little girl, she looks like a dancer, but I don't think she knows tango very well. But if you have a really good lead partner, that really won't matter because he will lead you.
Solo mi amor.
Also, there's a very big, very well-known feria along Calle Defensa, which is right next to Plaza Dorrego. So it goes from there all the way up to almost up to Casa Rosada, but that's only on Sundays, and I was there on a Saturday. So I'm kind of glad it wasn't there that day, because it would have been really difficult to walk along there and do window shopping, really, because it would have been packed, just packed with people. I would really like to know what this sounds like. Are these songs? Is it a comedy album? Oh, he's a folklore singer. That is a great cover. How many of you would drink the contents in that bottle? How old is that? Thank you so much for watching this video, and hope to see you next time. Ciao!